Today, I'm going to share with you how to transform these kitchen scraps into this nutritious food for microbes and plants, super compost Bokashi. Now I'm going to mention the ingredients in the order we are going to incorporate them. Of course, we are going to start with 1 gallon of well-chopped kitchen scraps. When you measure this gallon, make sure you put some pressure on it. This gallon is equivalent to 6 pounds of kitchen scraps. We are going to use 1 teaspoon of dry yeast. The following ingredient is going to be 4 tablespoons of yogurt. Any kind of yogurt, don't worry. And then we are going to use 100 milliliters of molasses. You can substitute the molasses for corn syrup. It happens that nowadays the molasses are very, very expensive, and the corn syrup is half of the price of the molasses, and it works very well. I'm using molasses because that's what I have at hand right now, but I know the corn syrup will work very, very well. The following ingredient is going to be 2.25 gallons of high carbon content ingredients, or what we normally know as browns, but it's better to mention them as high carbon content ingredients. The kitchen scraps is considered a low carbon content ingredient. The next ingredient is going to be 1 cup of soil from your garden. The soil should be dry to the touch. And finally, we are going to need 1 pound or 3 cups of flour. I recommend to use whole wheat flour. It has to be wheat flour. So these are all ingredients, and these are the order that they are going to be incorporated all together. Okay, now I have to mention another thing. When you measure the dry ingredients, in this case the vegetables, make sure you put a good pressure on it to measure the exact gallon. Okay? It's very important. I think that's all. That's all for the ingredients. And the way of doing this is very, very, very easy. First, we put this gallon of kitchen scraps. Then we add the following 3 ingredients together. The yeast, 4 tablespoons of yogurt, and the molasses. And mix it together. At this time, mix it together very, very well. Then you can add all the rest of the ingredients. Doesn't matter the order, but I recommend it in this order. The browns first, doesn't matter which one, the soil, and finally the flour on top of everything. You will see why I'm saying this when you practice it. And that's all. It's very easy. And then just put it in the container. I'm talking about the container. You can use an old cooler that can fit all this volume together. You don't need a real big container because it's gonna be too much. So just use a container that can fit all these ingredients, or at least 2 gallons of kitchen scraps with all the ingredients that it will take 2 gallons. In my case, I'm using this kind of container. This is 11 gallons container that you can get on the big stores. And I insulated with this type of material. It is very important that your container has the capability to hold the heat inside. This process is going to create a lot of heat, but we need to keep it in the box. This is very important because remember, we are doing small batch. We are not doing a 3 by 3 by 3 feet pile of compost. We're just doing at this time 1 gallon. By the way, you can save 1.5 or 2 gallons of kitchen scrap is much better. It works a lot better, but I'm showing you this because this is the minimum volume I experiment with. So, and it works. You can start just with 1 gallon, okay? But I have to repeat this. You can save 1.5 or 2 gallons is much better. So this is the container I'm gonna use. After I mix everything, I'm gonna put it inside, put the lid on, just securing it at one side and let one side crack open. This is very important because the more oxygen you can get into it, the better. One more important thing I need to mention. We are doing a fermentation and composting process at the same time. That's why we use these three important ingredients: the yeast, the yogurt, and the molasses. And by the way, there is science behind all these kind of ingredients and the amount. But I'm going to explain that in another video. Right now, I just want you to learn that we can do this in small batches and that it works. You don't need to expend probably any kind of money. You probably have all these components in your kitchen or around your garage.
Hot.
Before I go, I would like to invite you to enjoy and take care of nature.